Right, let's go back to the goals that you had at the start of this. Was improving, moving off and stopping.
Yep, and
changing gear. Okay, so your reflections on all of that.
Still room for improvement, definitely, but I definitely feel a lot more confident starting and stopping, changing gear. Needs a bit of work, but...
Okay, well, I wasn't expecting I'm not quite a miracle worker. and neither are you, because it's really down to you, all of this. So what do you feel still needs improving to get it sort of
definitely
to the point where you want
change.
it?
Just like clutch control with the gears, and I think getting used to it, because instead of going, fourth, I went second.
Right, so why do you think we were doing that? So it's what's called a block change, so missing out one or more gears sometimes. So what do you think was the reason or purpose for missing out a gear?
Well, we were going from the 40 zone to the national speed, so a 20 miles per hour difference, so you need that more higher gear again.
Okay, so was it to do with the fact that we were going at a speed that was appropriate for the gear that you chose?
Yeah,
that's really what we're trying to match, the gear to the speed, or speed to the gear. So if we're going to what first gear, what do you use that for?
Like low speeds, pulling off.
So once you've got beyond low speed, we're going to so we're trying to match the gear to the speed we're doing. So in terms of let's just go through each bit separately. Moving off smoothly. How well and safely as well, including the observations. How well do you think that's going compared to where you were best part of 2 hours ago?
A lot better. Able to now do the biting point bit and have actual clutch control instead of same time clutch and handbrake.
Yeah, right. So in terms of the clutch for moving off, what are you trying to do now that you weren't doing?
Just make it smoother, and avoid stalling.
So how do you make it smoother?
Stick at the biting point, and then handbrake off, and then gradually out of a junction.
And that gradually bit, I think, is the key. Gradually off the clutch.
Sure.
That's what's making a lot of it really smooth. What's your stopping like? Is there any issue with stopping at all?
Not that I know of. I don't know if you.
No, not that I know of. Well, I think if there had been, you might have wanted me to sort of say something about it. No, I think your stopping is absolutely really nice. We're smooth braking. We're putting the clutch down. The moment we stop, the handbrake and the gear we're out of. Yeah, absolutely no issues there at all. The gear selection, is that becoming easier for you to work out when to do it?
Yeah. Just listening to the car and watching as well, because I can now match the sound roughly where it is.
So where is it roughly, as far as you're concerned, when you're doing gear changes?
Between 4 and 5.
Okay.
Closer to 5.
Right. I am going to suggest eventually that we could do it at a much lower rev.
Okay.
It's very different, I think, to your bike. We could probably do it between the 2 and the 3.
Okay.
But that's something we can work on.
Yeah.
It's not a hard and fast rule, but I think most of the time you can probably do it when it's between 2 and 3.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes, and in terms of the speed of the gear changes,
I need to slow it down.
Yeah. You will be able to take a lot more time over them most times. There will be the odd occasion where it needs to be quick, when you're going up a hill and you've got to do a quick gear change to get the power to go, but most of the time it can be a lot more leisurely, so we don't get the clunk. So there's some things that we've achieved,
yeah.
and some bits to work on as well. Next time I see you, I know we've got to change it.
Yeah.
I haven't forgotten that, and I hadn't got the reminder from your mum yesterday. We can build on this.
Yeah.
How about, because when we've done the left and the right turns, we're not really bothered too much about the whole routine that it's worth going through with those. Could we do maybe something to build on that as well?
Yeah.
So that, you know, we sort of got the basic building blocks in for when we go a bit further afield.
Yeah.
And just finally, the roundabout in Cranbrook was all right. So I was giving you a little bit of help with that. Do you think you dealt with that okay?
I think it was okay.
Yeah. And the fact that we had to deal with some oncoming traffic as well with parked vehicles. Your clutch control round there, was that how trying some of those parked vehicles? Were you okay with that?
It was okay. I think it was where we stopped at the T-junction and to pull out of there. That needs improvement.
Okay, but you stopped when you had to because you knew there was a load of traffic there.
The pulling out.
Well, I think that was one of the ones where the clutch came up that bit too far. Once we went, it was really nice, and then we did meet quite a bit of traffic after that.
I think with the parked cars it was okay. It's just finding like how far to go in and the distance that the other vehicle needs.
And trying to give yourself time without stopping.
Yeah.
So this idea that I was talking to you about, see something as early as you can.
That's what I find hard, like gradually going instead of just stopping and then going again.
Well, there's something else that we can work on as well. Now, what I would like you to do at some point in the not too distant future is to go into the Total Drive app
and do the reflective
log, because you can include a lot of this stuff, because it will work really as something that we can use for the next lesson. Yeah, but well done. I'm really